Will the Dangote refinery sell its refined petroleum to Nigeria? Where will the Dangote refinery get its crude oil supply? Will petrol prices be cheaper in the Dangote refinery? As a petroleum economist, I receive these kinds of questions. First, the Dangote refinery can import its crude oil from any part of the world and does not have to buy it from Nigeria. What he is after is cheaper crude oil. Dangote's refinery is a modern, flexible refinery that can crack any crude grade, unlike old refineries that are designed with a specific grade in mind. So Dangote can import his crude oil from any part of the world. So it is not a surprise if Dangote skips Nigeria's crude oil to import from the US. He will do more of that in the future, and his target is cheaper and available crude oil. In fact, sometimes he will have no option but to import from the outside, as Nigeria's supply may be insufficient because Nigeria has committed some of its crude oil for debt repayment. Nigeria is not obligated to supply crude oil to Dangote refinery either. Dangote can get his crude oil from the share of international companies operating in Nigeria. So far, Dangote has stocked up to 6 million barrels of Nigeria's crude oil grade. He can blend it with what he will be importing from outside. Now let's talk about the end product. Will Dangote sell his refined petroleum in Naira? The answer is no. Dangote does not deal with Naira and does not need Naira. His business is a dollar business. Dangote operates in dollars. His loans are in dollars. Some of his supplies and consumables are in dollars. Some of his wages are in dollars. And his investors also receive dollars. So his refined petroleum will be sold in dollars. Similarly, there is no way Nigeria will subsidize or sell its crude oil to Dangote in Naira. So he will sell to Nigeria only if he wants. There is no obligation. And if he decides to sell it to Nigeria, he will sell it the same way he sells to other countries. The difference in the price of imported petroleum and the Dangote petroleum at a local filling station is not more than 100 naira per liter. So if the current price at the filling station is 640 naira per liter, the cheapest Dangote liter could be is around 540 naira per liter. Other things being equal, Dangote refinery can sell at a price they want since they have the monopoly power. However, NNPC on behalf of Nigeria holds a 20% stake in the Dangote refinery. So Nigeria can only decide what to do with this 20% share of petroleum products from Dangote refinery. But even NNPC will not subsidize that share of petroleum. It cost Nigeria $2.76 billion, which is around 3.5 trillion naira, to acquire the 20% stake at the Dangote refinery. $1 billion part of that amount was already paid through a loan funding, while the other $1 billion will be paid by giving Dangote refinery 335,000 barrels of crude oil per day at a $10 per barrel discount until the $1 billion is fully recovered. Again, another $700 million will be deducted from NNPC dividends to complete the payment of the 20% stake. This Dangote refinery stake comes at huge current and future costs. However, it is worth it to guarantee energy security in the country. Since the Dangote refinery is located in the export-free zone, it can decide to sell 100% of its refined petroleum outside Nigeria. So there is a need to guarantee some local supply. Allowing such heavy investment in your shores could be dangerous without owning a stake in it. At least 20% of Dangote's petroleum production will be supplied locally. Nigerians should reduce their expectations from the Dangote refinery, as it is a private business and the law has already removed subsidies. The price of liters at the filling station is already exposed to the dollar exchange rate and crude oil price fluctuations. One of the guarantee ways to get out of this is to provide sufficient mass transport system so that Nigerians may not have to own their personal transport vehicles and they don't have to buy the expensive petroleum products. Without that, Nigerians are already exposed to the expensive petroleum products.